Okay, finally. I'm here at 5 minutes until opening. I don't see my nemesis in the parking lot. And believe me, I know what kind of car she drives. I think today is going to be a good day. It's hot outside, but there are going to be some sweet deals inside this Goodwill. Let's go find a Tiffany lamp. Okay, I'll settle for Bradley and Hubbard.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, here we are shopping again, and thank you for joining me. The first thing is a wonderful 1930s candlestick, a single candlestick in blue. I'm moving very fast because I just arrived, the doors just opened, and I try to move quickly so that I don't miss anything. Wow, look at this. German or Bavarian? Bavarian. What a nice creamer. I can't find the sugar bowl. We're going to look around, come back to it. The paperweight was on the new side. Now, I know I'm moving fast, as I said, and I do promise you we'll go a little slower, and I'll show you whatever it is I decide to pick up from the aisle once we get there. Ooh, I like these, but they're new, made in China. So I didn't buy those. I like the shape of those candlestick holders though. Good evening everyone, or morning, or whatever the day may be, time of day as you're watching. Oh, there's Duncan Miller Teardrop, and I haven't seen that heart-shaped dish before. Not a big seller, but it's a pattern that I do like from, they probably made that for over 20 years. The 40s and 50s, maybe even late 30s. Okay, I know. You guys, slow down. Well, I do want to run over to the Pyrex aisle quickly. There's nothing more heartbreaking than getting there and you just miss it. Now that goes in the cart. We'll take a look at that again at the end of the video. That will resurface in my autumn show. Oh, what's that little jadeite thing doing down in the cart? You didn't see me pick that up. Well, I'll show it to you. Now, I don't know. That thing there, I know it's mid-century color, but because I don't shop at, Marshalls and Home Goods and all those places, I don't know what's being reproduced and what's, I can tell some of the old glass, but I wasn't really sure if that was new or old, so I didn't buy it. Mixing bowl there in white. This is the Pyrex aisle, and we're going to see a few pieces here. I can't remember the name of that pattern that sort of looks like salt glazed pottery, but I didn't buy it. Okay, so there's a primary bowl, which it's okay. It's got a little more loss than I normally like. As we hold it up, you'll see there's some wear on that, so I do put that back. This one here in this apple color, I don't know, I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know my Pyrex well enough to know that color. I might have made a mistake with that, but I think that's the Martha Stewart. There's either Federal or Glass Bake. That green, what looks like depression glass baking dish. I think Martha Stewart made that. Okay. We're going to look at that again at the end of the video as well. A Silent Butler, $4. Pretty old. It's got a wooden handle, silver plate, or quadruple plate. I don't know. We'll take a closer look at it later. I'm going to buy that. I know there's no brush. I'm sure I'm taking a long time making up my mind. Okay, it's in the cart. There we go. Now, let's see. Pots and pans. really flying, aren't I? I told you. When those doors open up, you have to move. You have to scratch gravel and travel. And you know I'm trying to find that Bavarian sugar bowl to match that creamer that we saw on the front aisle, and I'm not seeing it. What is that? Looks like a toilet. That looks like an old Victorian toilet. What is this? It's an ashtray where you put your butts. Cigarette butts. Made in Japan. $6. I didn't buy that. Silly thing. Now, what's over on this side? Okay. I know you're getting... Hold on. It's like being on the tilt-a-whirl, isn't it? Look at this brown pottery. I kind of like this. It has a late 60s feel to it. And I'm not really into this sort of brown 60s, 70s stuff. But the pieces were somewhat pricey. See, that was $11. You can see the mark there, which was one I wasn't familiar with, and I didn't take the time to look that up to see what the resale value was. Now I should know what that is. That's a nice piece of glass. It's not marked, but it was heavy glass, good glass, probably from the 50s. This would be nice for autumn, $3. And it says, what does it say? Get it in the camera. It says Bar Harbor Pottery Patty? What? Patty or pottery? Bar Harbor Pottery? And Bar Harbor is a lovely spot. And spent some time in Bar Harbor a few years ago. Wonderful. We ate blueberries the whole march up the mountain. Depression glass there, but they wanted a little too much for those amber dishes. I believe it was Mount Gorham in Bar Harbor, Maine, but you know, my memory, I'm in and out sometimes. Speaking of being in and out, I can't remember. I always want to say that's oyster. Oyster and pearl or egg and dart. I can't remember. I know it's depression glass. I didn't buy it. Oh. Now that I'm sitting at home, I'm not sitting on that chair, but I certainly would like to be sitting on that chair. Look at the seat. That's that old cloth, which is meant to sort of look like leather. And look at the old upholstery tacks. That's a 100-year-old chair. It's made partially of oak. The stretchers are all there. It's in really good, solid condition, and I didn't buy it. That's the kind of thing I would have bought and sold if I were still in a brick and mortar shop, which I'm not. I think it was $10 for that old chair. Oh, I don't know. It might still be there. I'm going to be back in that neck of the woods tomorrow, so... Boy, wouldn't a set of 4 of those be fantastic? Yep, I do place it back. Nice old chair. Turn of the century. I did buy a mirror. I think I paid $10 for this. We're going to give it the old scratch oxidation test there. Not that we needed to do that. Okay. Wonderful old mahogany. Flame mahogany under there, which is really hard to see. The old shellac has darkened, but I'm going to be able to clean it up. You see these mirrors on Empire Furniture, Second Empire, so 1880s. About the 1880s. It's a nice old mirror. Here I am back at this thing again. Doggone it. Just go ahead and buy it. Well, I didn't buy it because I couldn't find the sugar bowl. But I did pay $5 for this, and we're going to take a closer look at it on the windowsill in a little bit, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to show you what I bought. Not everything that you see in my cart will show up on the windowsill, and there are going to be some surprises too. So I hope you'll stay tuned until the end. And I have a wonderful antique radio discovery I'm going to show you too. This is a long video, probably going to be about a half an hour, so if you want to get up, go fill your cup up with Crystal Light lemonade or whatever you're enjoying, go ahead. I'm spending an awful lot of time deciding on that thing. I don't know why I was wasting so much time. Oh, for Pete's sake, put that down. You're not going to buy it. Put it down. You're getting on my nerves. Buy the thing or not, right? Do your business or get off the pot. Now that's Jeanette. Oh, there's that Carnival Glass Bicentennial plate. Not a lot of value to that. Okay, I'm in another store now, across town. You can tell. Oh, okay. Candlewick is an easy pattern to find. If you find the clear glass aisle to be intimidating, just pick a few patterns. Wexford by Anchor Hocking is an easy one, and you'll find lots of it. I think we're going to find one in a moment. That's not old. There we go. There's your Anchor Hocking picture there. And the Wexford. Yes, I always get Wexford and Waterford mixed up, but that's Wexford, right? Is that right? From the 60s into the early 90s, I think. Ah! Okay. Cameo. There she is. You see her? Dancing? We were just looking at some green Cameo glass yesterday. Not ballerina. Cameo. Sadly, no teacups. So I just didn't buy the saucers. I knew I had looked at, well, let's see, yeah. So I didn't get the saucers. I kept looking for the teacups, but alas alack, they weren't there. That jadeite was plastic. Plastic. Now let's see. They just throw stuff on the shelves in this store. I didn't buy this. It's okay. 1930s lusterware, but it's oil and vinegar. I don't know. Maybe if it had been salt and pepper, but $4. And with the windmills and everything, I thought I could probably only sell that set for about 10 or 12, and I just decided I wouldn't purchase it. Here's a nice piece from the 60s or the 50s. Oh my goodness. You can see they just throw the stuff on the racks in this particular store. And it's not as nicely displayed, and I fear things get damaged here. Well, there's your old bird of paradise or exotic bird on a Noritake piece. It's okay. It's again around 1930. I guess that's Italian. Looks like it. Part of a larger snack set. Or what am I trying to say? Lazy Susan set. I think I did see that hobnail milk glass. I didn't pick it up. That fooled me. Look at that. False-graph. And yet, I was getting sort of 1930s feel with those tulips, but closer look, nah. Alright, let's turn the aisle. Didn't find anything in the appliance department, but I do look for percolators, as you know. But I cannot find those ballerina cups, those 3 ballerina cups, can't find them. How about this? A tankard, I guess. I don't know. Is it a tankard when it doesn't have a lid on it? Well, somebody was fiddling with that sticker. I fiddle with it just a little bit. Don't see anything. But, it's okay. $4. It's nicely painted, very nicely painted. I believe there's a signature on it somewhere. But in terms of its function, I wasn't really sure what someone would do with it other than just sort of display it as a decorative item. And I just decided today it's not for me. Now I love this pattern, and I've seen these here before. They've been sitting around for a long time. There are no saucers anywhere. No saucers anywhere. But I did buy the sugar bowl to sell as a replacement. So I've got that. Yeah, it's just too bad that we had all those little coffee cups and no saucers. There's that silver leaf, autumn leaf, silver leaf that you see a lot, both in gold and in the silver color. We are going to do a windowsill reveal, so even though this is not all that entertaining, seeing me not really finding a whole lot in the thrift store today. Charm, Forest Green Anchor Hocking, again, no saucers. I hope you'll stay tuned for the counter review. And as I said, a really amazing antique radio find. I can't wait to show you. Now the reason I picked this up was to look at the back stamp to see if it's the old original, and it is. That's that old California back stamp there. So that's going to go all the way back to the beginning, and the collectors really like that old Franciscan. Continued to be made for many years and then made in England, but that old original California back stamp puts it back to its early days. All right, what year was this made? If you said 1941, you're correct. G, 41. Homer Laughlin, 1941. Well, once again, ignore the truck that needs to be washed. And gosh by gum by golly, I made a wonderful discovery at my Restore store. This is a wonderful antique piece of radio history here. This is the RCA 106, model 106 speaker. That's just a speaker. Now this was designed as a nice piece of furniture onto which you could set a coffin, a casket style radio would fit right on top of here. This is it. This is this is either 1926 or 27, and it's the first electrodynamic speaker. This is the birth of loudspeakers, cones. Before that, we had the old headphones that have been used since the First World War, and then the big horns, the awkward horns. And this is an electrodynamic speaker, amazing, in the original cabinet. $15, I couldn't believe it. These were very expensive when they were new. It was a luxury item. And you say, well, it looks like it's pretty torn up. It's actually in remarkable condition. I don't know anybody anymore that's reproducing this grill cloth. That's the original. Without this grill cloth, forget it. You can't put another piece of grill cloth on here and have this look the way it's supposed to. And surprisingly, this cloth is in good shape. Now it's started to separate here just from the sheer weight. It's been hanging there for almost 100 years. This speaker, as I said, is about 95 years old. And so what I'll do eventually is we'll get this all taken apart, and I'll get a backing. I'll get another piece of material to put on the back of this. We'll be able to raise this up, and with some adhesive, we'll be able to get this to where you know, it won't be perfect, but it won't continue to deteriorate. If I leave it like that, it's just going to dry rot and it's going to pull. But this is restorable, and we can't really clean it. We have to just sort of brush it off lightly. Now the cabinet I can work on. I have never been up this close to one. I've seen them in collections, and I've seen them in books and in radio museums, but I've never actually been this close to one. Let's turn it around and see if the guts are still there. Well, I am thrilled spitless to tell you it is all still there, just as it was when it was manufactured in the mid-1920s. I can't believe it. Now the way this would work, as I said, you'd set your AC set on top, your electric set on top. Here's your on-off switch. We can see RCA, and they had the patents for this, the licensing. So here's your on-off for the loudspeaker. Now there are no tubes on this, so let's get, well, there's the old cambric or dust cloth that would hang on the back. We'll save that, but we can't do a whole lot with it. Here's all the licensing information under here. We won't go into that, and we'll get this off later. Look at that baby. Well, you look and you go, oh, it's just an old speaker. This is it. This is the first one. 1926-27. It's brand new technology. It's a paper cone speaker. Look at this. These are disc rectifiers here on the right and the left. Look at the size of those. And then under here in this can, that's the, that's going to be, oh, wait a minute. That'll be the output transformer. There's another disc rectifier there. The coil is inside. We can't see that in here. This whole thing weighs about 40 pounds. Now that transformer there, that's mounted right onto the frame of the speaker underneath the coil. That's probably to help out with the impedance. This thing is, look at the dust. Boy, I'll tell you, what we can't see all the way in here is the furniture maker that made the cabinet. You can read it. I can't, wait a minute. Does it say Grand Rapids? I can't really, I'll have to look at it later. But that's who would make the cabinet. See, RCA didn't make any of these cabinets, but the furniture maker puts his mark on the inside. This down here is your, that's an auxiliary AC. Okay, this is where you'd plug your radio in. Your radio sits on top, and we can plug our radio in here. And that looks like, unfortunately, somebody hacked off the, that's not the line. Yeah, that's the line cord there. Okay, that I can replace. The cord that actually, okay, here it is. Sorry. Yeah, somebody hacked off the speaker cord as well. That's a shame, because that cord is a beautiful, very lengthy cord that would connect to the radio. But we can replace all that. Let me stand back up here. All right, I'm not going to rattle on any more about this, but it is an amazing find. That's going to go into storage for a little while, and then this winter we'll revisit it and get it all taken apart. Get some new cambric for the back. I'll save this. Yep, I can do stuff with that. And I'm just amazed and so excited about it. I'll try to insert some photographs and maybe show you what it looks like in the old advertising. What a find! Okay, let's zip down the windowsill and do a windowsill review. We're going to go through the decades. I've got everything lined up here according to decade, roughly. But we're going to start with something that I'm certain is relatively new, and I just had to buy him. He's a little Jadeite Elephant. Get him in the sunlight there. No damage on him at all. The tusks are perfect, as well as the trunk. And I had to do it. I don't know what he was, a couple bucks. So he's not old, made of glass. I don't know. I might sell him or I might keep him. But that's definitely a new item. Now we'll start here, as I said, probably around the turn of the century. The vibe I'm getting on this is a 1910, 1912, something like that. Almost kind of a nouveau design, the way the metal work is done on the perimeter of this in a very natural way. So it kind of looks like it could be from that era. You know, I think, well, they're called silent butlers. Okay, I learned that from watching Jeffery Kevin. Look, I used to try to do tablescapes, and then somehow I stumbled upon Jeffery Kevin's channel, Decorating Happily Ever After. He is the king of the tablescape. And I know some of you watch him because I leave him comments, and some of you do as well. Jeffery Kevin collects these silent butlers. I think he collects the porcelain ones. But anyway, if you get a chance, if you want to see wonderful tablescapes, hop over to Decorating Happily Ever After. I will try to remember to put the link in the description box below. He has a nice collection of these, mostly in porcelain. This is a silver plate. For getting crumbs off the table, there's usually a brush. So, Jeffery Kevin, if you're watching, am I missing the brush? I guess I'm probably missing the brush, but maybe some of them were made without brushes. I don't know. It's a wooden handle. Okay, now we're going to get to the Carnival Glass era. That's not Carnival Glass, but it does have iridescence on it. It might be difficult for you to see the rainbow iridescence on there. It's a blue opaque candlestick. Let's see, Northwood made these. I think Dugan Diamond, maybe even Fenton. Northwood wasn't the only company that had this opaque blue. And this is just before this is during the stretch glass, the end of the stretch glass Carnival Glass era. So this dates to just before the 1920s. And I just have the one candlestick, but it's part of a larger console set. There would be a bowl and another matching candlestick. I really like the color, and I like the iridescence on there as well. I'm hoping that it's showing up. I had the full console set when I did my very first antique show and sale. I was about 21 years old, and I had the console bowl and the two candlesticks. I only found one today. I'll probably keep it. Jeanette made this cherry blossom pattern. It is reproduced, so watch out. Get yourself a good depression glass book that tells you about reproductions, and you'll know how to spot them. It has something to do with sometimes the number of cherries and also the number of little sort of, not vines, but the little lines that are in the blossoms themselves. I won't go into it because I don't remember without looking at my book. I don't think that this green cake plate was reproduced. And this one shows the signs of age that I would expect. So that's got uranium and will glow, and we're around 1930 on that. So turn of the century, 1920s, 1930s. Up here, made in England, probably in the 30s or 40s. But I can't be certain about that. Now my English friends are going to have to tell me, is this a double jam pot so that two folks can share two different kinds of marmalade? I don't know. It's not a form that I see in this country. Quintessentially English, these little cottage homes here. And some of them are called thatched or half thatched. Is that the right term? I'm probably showing my ignorance of English architecture. I stuck the spoons in there to give you the idea of it.
The lids fit on just a certain way. They won't go on any other way than that. And it's obviously not a cream and sugar because we have, in the eave of the little cottages, we have the spot for the spoons. Really adorable. No damage on this. So I guess you have your orange marmalade in there and your raspberry marmalade in the other side. I don't know. We'll turn it upside down and give you the whole. It's different on the back, and we got the steps on the front, and then we have steps on the back too. Sneak in the inside and out the back. And this is made in England. That says Kensington Ware, England. Okay, my English friends. I have not looked any of this up. It is all fresh from the thrift shop. And I don't know. I paid $2 or $3 for this, making a lot of noise here. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Yeah, nothing here was terribly expensive. These were $1 each. Pink and black. Love it. Very 50s, 60s. These tall glasses here with a snowflake on the front. I don't see any L on the bottom for Libby, so I don't know. But just 4 of them there in pink and black. Very mid-century with the snowflake as well. Sticking with pink and black. The main reason I bought this set, 2 reasons. 1, condition. 2, color. It's West Bend. Usually just see the silver with black or the silver and silver, aluminum I should say. I don't find them as frequently. Complete set, black and pink, and the condition. What happened to these when they went out of style? They were given to Grandpop, and he put them in the garage and filled them with nuts and bolts and casters and washers and bits and bobs of nails and odd things that would be in the garage, and they get all scratched up and rusted. When do you find them in this condition? I hardly ever do, so that's the reason why. Complete set there. Tea, coffee, flour, sugar. Who had these in their pink and black kitchen? It'd be great with these. Okay, and then, hiding down here, this stuff was hot again in the 50s and 60s. Crackle glass, that'll come back in the autumn sale. And this wonderful homemade ceramic pumpkin, 1970, pardon me while I stick my finger in your eyes and your nose. So rude. What does it say under there? It says RJK 1976. So that was there for the bicentennial year. And, that's probably 12 inches. So we're going to probably have to ship that in a 16 by 16 by 16 box, which takes it over a square foot box, but a cubic foot, but we'll see. It's painted very well. It's complete with no damage and the cord. I paid $10 for it. I'm going to expect to make at least a $20 profit on that. Very quick and easy for me to throw that online, and a lot of folks are going to remember having that in their homes in the 70s. I didn't grow up with one, but I remember a lot of houses that had that as the decoration. We had the skeleton head, or the skull I should say, that my mother made. You remember the light up skull head? And we had the ghost that she made in her little ceramic class. Okay, so and this set here, I think I paid $15 for this set here. Those were 99 cents each, and everything over here was, $2 or $3 each. So, backing up, we go 1900, 1920, 1930, the 30s, the 40s, the 60s, the 50s and the 60s, and right up into the 1970s, and then it's Boston Fern. Okay, that's it. Whew, I got all that in less than 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed watching. None of it is ready for sale yet. Give me a few days. Gimme. Afford me a few days if you will, and I'll have them ready. Look at the construction site. Boy, they're going to town on the elevator shafts. Tell you more about that later. That's it. Wait for Salem's Meow. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop saying thanks for watching and so long for now.